And then some D-list actor who's not even in law enforcement tackles you to the ground, puts handcuffs on you, and you don't get to see your family. You don't even get
to identify himself.
You don't even get to say goodbye to your family. If Dean Cain, something bad happens to him, he put himself in this position. The idea that you have no credentials in law enforcement or even yet alone how to use a weapon.
I don't think any of them do.
Yeah, and yet you can somehow detain people and arrest people is so despicable. And Dean Cain is just an idiot. Okay, I've talked about Dean Cain on this show before. I don't know when
he is an idiot,
and he's no better than a James Woods or some of these or Chachi or some of these right-wing clowns that have no idea what they're talking about. He's not a very intelligent person. By the way, he's a terrible actor. And I would say that somebody like that trying to arrest people outside of courtrooms or in front of Home Depot, it puts everybody in danger because he's not properly trained. He doesn't know what he's doing. And Leonard knows a thing or two about this because he was in law enforcement as a professional for decades. This is dangerous, Leonard, isn't it?
Well, we had to spend hours and hours on law and local law, federal law, civil law, landlord-tenant law, juvenile law. And so it's not just a matter of putting a gun on.
Leonard, I'm that person that called in a few weeks ago, Cheryl. I'm retired law enforcement of almost 33 years in Phoenix.
Oh, well.
So I get that. And that's why I'm asking you. Here's the other thing. So he's putting out this message. He wants to hire all these people, all these extra ICE agents. How many of them, if any of them, are going to go through law enforcement training? How many?
I don't believe that they're going through much training at all. I think they're taking people like security guards and people who've read manuals, and they're taking people who just agree to do things the way they say you can do them. You have to understand, a police officer, and you know this, you have to have identifying patches. You have to have a badge. You have to identify yourself. We all have a personnel number. We all have our name on our uniforms. And if somebody wants me to identify myself, I have to.
Can I ask you a question?
It's our policy.
Leonard? What would you say to Dean Cain right now? Like if you were sitting right next to him and you were able to have a conversation with him, and you're someone that's been in law enforcement for decades, and now apparently he's going to be an ICE agent with no training at all. I'm curious, what would you say to him?
That he's not Superman.
That's for sure.
I think he's trying to get some attention. I would say that if he is dedicated to doing this and he wants the attention and he wants to go and chase down minority women, in some cases, moms, grandmothers, children, that he should, if they won't train him, he's probably going to have to get some training on his own. But everybody thinks it's going to be pay a lot of money and it's going to be fun. But what happens when there's a regime change? What happens when the Democrats or someone else takes over and all of these people have to answer for all of these crimes, the use of force? Who wears masks, Brian? In what country do police or people that say police, ICE on their back wear masks and not identify themselves?
Can you imagine? Let me just give an example here. You're a mother who has several children. You're married. You don't have the proper paperwork. You're doing all the right things. You've been in this country for a very long time. You have a job, you pay taxes, and you're showing up in court because you're trying to get naturalized and you're doing all the right things to do that. And then some D-list actor who's not even in law enforcement tackles you to the ground, puts handcuffs on you, and you don't get to see your family. You don't even get
to identify himself.
You don't even get to say goodbye to your family. There are people in this country that are going through that right now with these cowards with scarves or whatever they're wearing, these masks on their faces. There are a bunch of cowards across the country that are doing this while families are grieving and suffering. Overwhelming majority of these people are non-violent criminals. I don't know about you guys, but this is not the country that I want to live in. And make no mistake about it, Tom Homan and Donald Trump and the Stephen Millers of the world are celebrating. They love it. They love to own the libs, and they like to see brown people suffer. And we're seeing it in this country every single day Donald Trump is president of the United States.